This is a homework question from 5.3 for the Poisson distribution. There's our formula there. And I'm going to look at part A. We're looking at the probability that x is greater than or equal to 4. Well, the probability that x is greater than or equal to 4 means we could have 4 or greater than, it could be 5, 6, and so on. Well, that would go to infinity, so we don't want to do that. Well, when we went over the Chapter 5 notes, we said that if we had a probability that x was greater than or equal to a number, and we didn't have a limited number of trials, we could say that that is equivalent to 1 minus the probability. If it's not greater than or equal to 4, it's less than 4. And that's definitely manageable. So what we have is 1 minus, and I'll group this together. If it's less than 4, it could be 0, 1, 2, or 3. So we've got 1 minus. Now, if you look at your formula here, that base E is on your calculator. Negative lambda, lambda is 9.0. I'm just going to put negative 9. I've got to put this in a calculator, and I'll make it easy. Lambda, again, let's just put 9. And that's to the x power. So for 1, we'd have a 1 there. Oh, sorry. Skip 0. 0 over 0 factorial. And then, again, here 9 is to the first power over 1 factorial. And we've got 9 squared over 2 factorial. And finally, 9 cubed over 3 factorial. Let's get that over some, make sure you can see that. Okay. So looks like we ought to pull this in the calculator, but let's clean up a bit because I've got a rinky-dink calculator and I really don't feel like typing all that in. If you've got a TI-83 or 84, yay, it's no big deal, but let's clean up. 9 to the 0 is 1. 0 factorial is 1. 1 factorial is 1. 9 to the 1 is just 9. 9 squared is 81. Like I said, I'm gonna clean up as much as I can. 2 factorial is 2 times 1 or 2. 3 factorial, 3 times 2 times 1 is 6. And 9 cubed is 729. So let's write down what I have now. I have e to the negative 9. And I've got e to the negative 9 times 9. I've got e to the negative 9 again. And times 81 over 2. And then e to the negative 9 times 729 over 6. Well, we've all had some algebra, so let's make this even easier. If you see, every term has a factor of e to the negative 9. Let's factor that out. Okay, so I've got 1 minus, and let's deal with all this over here, e to the negative 9, and that's multiplied times an understood 1, so we have 1 plus 9 plus 81 over 2 plus 729 over 6. All I did was factor that out because it was distributed to each term. And again, that's optional. You can put this whole thing in your calculator if you want to. I'm going to go ahead and add all this up. I've got 1 plus 9, which is 10, plus 81 divided by 2, plus 729 divided by 6, 172. Now, to put that in this calculator here, so I'm multiplying by 172 times, I have to put my exponent in first. You wouldn't have to do that on your fancier calculators. And then hit second ln. That's the decimal. You get a decimal because a negative exponent means division. And that gives me 0.0212. 0.0212. Subtract from 1. 0.9788.